If a flooring company says they can install your floors in one day, you should be asking yourself what steps they're skipping. Because behind the speed is usually cheap materials, rushed work, and skipped subfloor preparation. And you'll be the one paying for it later. Coming up in this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that most companies won't tell you about one-day flooring installations. First, what actually gets skipped when flooring is installed that fast and why it matters long term. Second, the hidden cost behind the free install and 50% off gimmicks and how to spot them before you sign anything. And third, what a proper install actually looks like and how to make sure your floors are built to last. If you're thinking about replacing your floors, this might save you from a costly redo. Think of it like fast food. It's quick, it's cheap, and it seems like a great idea in the moment, but afterwards you don't feel the best and you usually regret it. We had a homeowner reach out after going with a company that promised a one-day installation and a 50% off discount. And unfortunately, we encounter a lot of these companies every single day. They were told the floors would look great and save them a lot of money, but the company didn't do any subfloor preparation. No leveling, no grinding, nothing. 1 year later, the floors started lifting and separating at the joints. They tried to get in contact with the company who originally installed the floors, but they refused to take any action and replace the floors. So they had to call us to rip everything out and start over, this time the right way. And that's the problem with these one-day installations. They might look fine on day one, but the problems underneath always show up a few months to a year down the line. Let's talk about what actually gets skipped in a one-day flooring installation. First, there's no grinding or leveling of the subfloor. If your subfloor isn't flat, your floors will eventually have broken joints and separation. And from the thousands of homes I have been in, I can assure you that I haven't seen one house where we did not have to grind or level the floor. Second, there's no time for acclimation. The floor goes straight from the truck to the floor, which means gaps and expansion issues later. If it's a carpet installation, there's usually no power stretcher, which means it wrinkles, buckles, and loosens up within a year or two. If you're going over concrete, sometimes they skip the moisture barrier, which is a really big mistake. And sometimes they even lay new flooring right over the old floors, which just traps moisture problems underneath. Then all the finishing details get rushed too, like the stairs, transitions, or trim work, which ends up looking bad and unprofessional. You can't cut corners without it showing up later, sometimes in weeks, sometimes in months. So why do companies offer one-day flooring installations in the first place? Well, for most companies, it's all about volume. Their business model is built to move fast and close quickly. They use low-bid subcontractors who are incentivized to work as fast as they can instead of making sure they're taking their time to do quality work. I mean, the longer they spend on your job site, the less they make per hour. Not only that, but the majority of those contractors are not professionally trained and certified flooring installers. They also use cheap and low-quality materials that are not built to last. And all of these promotions, free installation, just means they jacked up the material. And 50% off usually means it was overpriced to begin with. I had a client who received a quote from one of these companies who was offering 50% off. My quote came in at $10,000 with no discounts, and their quote was $19,000 before the 50% discount. After the discount, the price came down to about $9,500. This goes to show that the 50% off is a marketing gimmick. They just double their price and then act like they're giving you a great discount. The marketing is designed to move fast and not give you time to ask questions. And if they're rushing the sale and the install, they're not thinking about your long-term results. And here's what it actually costs you. Your warranty gets avoided if the floor isn't installed to manufacturer specifications. The boards start separating and lifting and sometimes completely come out of place. And you end up paying out of pocket for repairs, restretching, or full replacements. And on top of that, the stress, frustration, and regret of knowing it could have been avoided. We have hundreds of clients who regret falling for these marketing gimmicks. Just like that homeowner I mentioned, 1 year later, they had to rip it all out and pay us to completely redo the project. So what does proper flooring installation actually look like? And what kind of company should you be looking for? First, look for a company who takes the time to do an in-home consultation and is detailed in explaining their process. They should be addressing all these details on the first visit. And if they don't explain all the steps involved in the process, don't bother hiring that company. Here are some questions you should ask them before you decide to hire that company. First, do they do subfloor preparation before starting to install the flooring? If they do not mention anything about grinding or leveling the subfloor, then you should avoid hiring that company. Second, ask how fast their installations are. If they say 1 day, do not hire that company. To give you a little perspective, a 1,000 square foot job, if installed with proper subfloor preparation, should take about 3 to 5 days for a 2-man crew. So if they do in 1 day, they're skipping a lot of steps. The only exception to this is if you have a carpet project. In that case, it is okay to get it done in 1 day. The real issue comes up with hard surface flooring jobs. That's where the subfloor preparation matters the most. Third, ask them to show you pictures of their actual projects, including things like steps, trim, subfloor prep, and floor installation pattern. Fourth, what kind of warranty do they offer? Any good company who has high quality materials and installation should have no problem offering a lifetime warranty on all their projects. And the install should come with a real written warranty in the contract, something that gives you peace of mind. Before we move on, I wanted to let you know that if you're local to Raleigh, North Carolina, you are in the right place. We are more than happy to work with you. Just click in the link in our description to contact us and join hundreds of happy homeowners. Now that you know the truth about 1-day installations, the next thing you should see is what a proper flooring installation actually looks like from start to finish. So watch this video next. It walks you through each step that should be part of a high quality flooring job, from in-home consultation to prep, installation, finishing, and final walkthrough. If you're planning new floors, this will help you know exactly what to expect and what to make sure your installer isn't skipping.